Don Noble liked to write things down in his diaries and on his iPad. After he got gravely ill with a rare form of spinal cancer, he started to write about the toll the disease was taking, hoping to put it into a book for his family. Just before he died, he made one request of his wife.
And his last words that night were to me is, "You'll have to write the book." And that was the first time he had said he was basically letting go. So he went into a coma shortly after that and died 2 days later.
She later realized she'd forgotten the password for the Apple account, which was under her husband's name, and couldn't access the files. Apple told her she needed a court order to unlock the account so the company could satisfy a U.S. privacy law written way back in 1986.
Basically, what Apple wants is an order from the court to give me what my husband owned and is already bequeathed to me.
The cost of getting a court order can range from about $2,000 to tens of thousands of dollars, depending on how complicated it gets.
It's a tricky situation. I mean, digital assets are one of those things where it's governed by a privately held corporation that effectively has autonomy and proprietary rights over what's being stored. So ultimately, it's not like a bank account where we can kind of go in and say, here's a death certificate, here's a probate document, can we get access to it?
It was the same problem for this Ottawa family. When 23-year-old Dovie Henry died in a suspected suicide, his mom wanted access to his digital accounts to see if they would give her answers. She's been fighting a number of social media providers in Canadian and U.S. courts ever since. Experts say tech companies refusing to hand over these assets is a big problem that will only get bigger, saying many of these companies follow U.S. laws, while our own lawmakers have been ignoring the problem and the solution for years.
We need strength in numbers and leverage.
An organization that fills gaps in Canadian laws thought it had a solution. It put together draft legislation 4 years ago that would protect Canadians like Noble, but only Saskatchewan has adopted the law.
As long as we don't have that leverage, effectively the default is that they will continue to assume they can apply U.S. law.
Ultimately, we need this nationwide. This will force these giant tech companies to deal with the problem. Because as it stands right now, good luck trying to get a hold of anyone in one of these companies who are almost always based in California.
Apple didn't respond to Go Public's questions. For now, Noble only has access to her husband's paper journals. She was ready to give up on getting the digital ones until her lawyer offered to complete the case pro bono. Rosa Marcatelli, CBC News, Go Public.